And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to send Mr. Rojas.
No, Your Honor, just
Mr. Rojas, you may make argument part.
Thank you, Judge. And obviously, after seeing that video, it makes what we're asking for harder to do. And what we're here asking for this morning, Judge, is probation. Mr. Fontes, he is a young offender. I know the court is tired of hearing the same story over and over, young guys with guns in here. He's got a limited criminal history. I believe this is his first felony. He's never been on any kind of felony supervision or felony probation. Unfortunately, he's just fallen into the same situation that we see so many other youthful offenders fall into. He's got no direction in life. He's very little support at home. Sees no way out of the situation that he's in, so he goes and decides to rob a store and get some money. Did the wrong thing. What I believe is the right reason. He's trying to help his mom out at home, trying to pay some bills, keep the lights on. Certainly, there are better ways to go about doing that. And I hope that the time in jail has taught Mr. Fontes that. We've got options here, Judge. We can send him to prison or we can put him on probation. Certainly, he's on the road if this conduct continues. He's on the road with prison. I don't know that the day is the best time to make that exit for him. He's got a long life to live. We can send him to prison. He can be there for a few years and come back out. I don't know that he's going to get the help that he really needs in prison. There are programs available on probation that if he's serious about turning his life around, like he says in the PSI, those programs can help him. And if he does take the community a little bit safer, because there'll be one less guy running around with a gun when he does get out of prison, if that was the road that you chose to take. Plan on living at home with his mom. I think he has some younger siblings there. To his benefit, before he was even arrested, he started a GED. I think on the night that this happened, he had just finished a GED class and made a dumb decision to go hang out with these guys that he should not have been hanging out with, and did this robbery. Again, Judge, you've got two options. You can send him to prison, or you can try to get him some help on probation, and hopefully he will take advantage of that. And certainly if he doesn't, we're going to know pretty quick. And
there's something really sad about this part because the defense attorney isn't pretending the robbery was okay. He knows the video hurt the case badly, but he's basically asking the court one question: is this kid already too far gone? And honestly, you can feel how common this story has become. Young guy, no direction, bad influences, fast money, gun involved. The scary part is how routine it sounds now.
Yeah, I'll be brief. Whether it's the Pine Club Apartments or Rogers Park or a Speedy Mart, you've seen this, and we've seen this in this community all too often. I'm preaching to the choir, Judge. Prayer vigils and advisory committees, all that stuff's fine, but you judge where the rubber meets the road. You are that person that can protect the community from somebody like this defendant. You are that person that can either let him walk out of this courtroom on probation with a piece of paper with conditions and promises that he won't resort to this kind of violence that you saw on that video, or you can ensure that the community is safe by putting him behind steel bars, concrete wall, and razor wire fence. I'm not in the habit of begging, but on behalf of this community, I'm begging that you sentence this defendant to prison. The message that needs to be sent to this defendant and his circle of friends and anybody who would want to be like this defendant is that if you pick up a gun with the intent to commit violence, you're gonna pick up a 15, 20, 25-year prison sentence, Judge. And I'm just asking that you do this on behalf of people who live at the Pine Club Apartments, who just want to live in peace, people who want to go take a walk at Rogers Park and not be robbed, and somebody that wants to stop at a Speedy Mart convenience store and pick up some snacks without becoming a victim of a robbery. That's all.
Two, this prosecutor wasn't just arguing this case. He was speaking for an entire community that feels exhausted. And when he says prayer vigils and advisory committees aren't enough anymore, that line hits hard, because you can tell this isn't about one robbery to them. This is about fear becoming normal.
So, Mr. Fontenette, there was a time some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. Everyone state's attorneys were recommending youthful offenders, probation, let's give everybody an opportunity. And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen. I cannot imagine the fear that that person had that was working in that store, that he now has, just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home. And he has 3 people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time. Pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all 3 of you. I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports. And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is what's been happening in the jail. So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because you can't even follow. This report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division. Going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification. This was not an agreement. You have some rights to appeal.
3. The judge's tone here is what makes this so powerful. She's not yelling. She's not emotional in an explosive way. She sounds disappointed and honestly tired, like someone who has watched the exact same story repeat too many times. And when she says, you can't even follow the rules in jail, you can almost hear the moment probation disappeared from consideration.
That was an outburst in court today after a man who terrorized a store clerk with a gun is sentenced. The prosecutor and the judge, Raquel West, citing recent violence like the shooting at Rogers Park in Beaumont and how they view crime and punishment. At 6 o'clock, Kimberly is off. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office listening to the public's plea for harsher prosecution against violent offenders. Judge West making it happen during sentencing today. KFTM's Amon Abraham live in studio with reaction.
Aaron, we spoke with District Attorney Keith Giblin, and he says times have changed and the ongoing violence involving teens need to stop or they'll suffer the consequences. Judge Raquel West sentenced 18-year-old Caden Fontenette to 25 years behind bars for aggravated robbery. The terrorizing crime at a Nederland convenience store last year was captured on video. Prosecutor Tommy Coleman showing the video capturing the moment the teens ran into the store and raised their firearms at the clerk. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office is sending a clear message to violent offenders. They should prepare for tough prosecution and longer sentences. Coleman brought up multiple violent crimes, including the shooting at Rogers Park and others, saying enough is enough. The district attorney says it goes beyond just this case.
The time is come to be even more punitive on violent crime than we have been in the past, and we have been, but we're going to ensure that justice is done. From our office, I can tell you right now, our investigators and the Beaumont Police Department are talking to not only the victims that were shot in the incident at Rogers Park, but also people that were traumatized, people whose homes were hit, people who ran for cover.
For 25 years at 18 years old is life-changing. That's the part people watching will debate forever. Some viewers will say the sentence was necessary because guns were involved. Others will hear the defense talking about poverty and youth and think prison just creates another broken future. But one thing is clear. This courtroom wanted to send a message not just to him, but to every teenager thinking about picking up a gun for quick money.